Hello and welcome to the Tuesday, August 11th, 2026 meeting of the Ayer Planning Board. This meeting hearing of the Ayer Planning Board will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID 978-772-8220 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Daniel Ruiz, Town Planner at druiz@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220 extension 144 prior to the meeting. First item of business is to approve the agenda. I'd like to suggest an amendment under administrative matters, just to do a roundtable. I just want to ask everyone if there's anything they're interested in learning to help them with any board matters and topics that we may bring in talkers or presenters with. I would do that under number 3, administrative matters. With that said, with that recommendation for the agenda, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Dave.
Second.
And a second from Ken. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye, on the
Pete?
agenda.
Aye. And Dave?
Yes.
And the chair votes aye. The agenda is approved. And our first item is the continued public hearing for 20 Groton Harvard Road, site plan and stormwater management. The representatives come to the table, please.
Get the good chair.
Good one.
So, I think,
Introduce on me.
where do you want to start with the, the stormwater permit or the decision itself, site plan?
So, let's go with, first, let's discuss, so the applicant submitted a revised set of plans showing the additional catch basin at the beginning of the driveway, as was requested. How it shows that.
Yeah, probably even better the next sheet. You see the grading. Yeah. So
Okay.
as you said, Ken, yeah, we crowned the road to kind of push that stormwater to either side, and we added an additional catch basin in line to the leaching pit. And there was a stormwater treatment unit to meet the TSS removal that was in the initial catch basin. And what we did is we added a second unit that will also be in that other catch basin. So.
Okay, great. Were there any other open items or for discussion?
Did we talk at all about vertical landing curve at the entries and radiuses? And with date?
They are, I believe, yeah, they are shown.
I think we did, but I'm trying to remember.
I believe it was called out. I believe we did talk about it, but
Yeah, I remember it's 24-foot wide, two-way entrance with, I believe those are the 15-foot as required in the access.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not specifically called out on this layout. Yeah, it's just not labeled as to what it is, so
Well, that dotted line, I think, makes it Cape Cod berm or something.
I'm trying to find if there's any labels going to it anywhere.
Maybe he's got it in the DPW comments or something like that.
Edge of pavement. It says it does call Cape Cod berm all the way. But I believe, yeah, this was supposed to be vertical granite curving as well.
Yep.
I just don't think it got revised on the plan. So
So you want to keep that in mind for
we can add it as a
As a
special
con-
condition.
Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah. Yeah, because we had talked about it. Yeah, so I'll add it to as a special condition here.
I mean, we pretty much have been doing that with every project we have, as they approach
Yes,
any
yes.
road, yeah.
So that would be the fifth special condition, right?
Yes.
And
Okay.
you'll figure out language for that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I will.
So what is that vertical granite curving at entrance?
Yeah. The radii.
Thank you, Danny. And it looks like there's just one more waiver request for photometrics that we voted already on the
Yes.
traffic, so
So we're looking at the site plan approval decision first, right?
yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Wait, you got 6?
That's stormwater.
Oh,
Yep.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
Right, back to site plan.
Okay.
Wait. But my storm, am I looking at the wrong, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Damn it. That's why.
There you go.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah, so the first page up is the, normal, typical items. Number 1 is your motion. Number 2 will be the materials, and 3 is the findings.
Yep.
On this one, we included that this is a inclusionary housing, so requirement for 10%, and one of the units will be affordable. The waiver request, so we voted already on the traffic, that was denied 2-3. And then photometrics, it was, so
Yeah.
this one has not had a vote.
So, may I read this? So, regarding the waiver request, we're looking at a waiver request from section 4.G.2 photometrics plan. And the justification is as follows. The proposed building is proposed to have downward-facing wall lights mounted above each entrance doorway. These lights will provide adequate lighting for each owner as they come in and go out of their individual driveway sites, as well as a general area around their parking site. There's also a yard post light to be mounted above the mailbox station that will cast adequate lighting on this general area as well. Due to this being a relatively small residential site, no detrimental or obtrusive lighting will be installed, as may be the case in some larger commercial sites. Discussion?
I think it's apparent that this will work.
Yeah, I think I'm content with that.
Yep.
Peter?
Yep.
All right, then I'll make a motion to, to approve the waiver request from section 4.G.2 photometrics plan as, with the justification as read by the chair.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just one clarification. So the motion is under the air site plan regulations, not the
Correct.
zoning regulations, just to keep that clear.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank
That
you.
is correct.
Yep, Town of Air site plan regulations, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ken, how do you vote?
Yes, on the waiver.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. Waiver is accepted. Do we need to go through the findings, or we've done that? Okay. And my understanding is that we have the usual 36 or 35? 36?
Yes, so we
standard?
actually have added a new
Include something else?
condition
Okay.
into our general conditions
What's
going
that?
forward. Number 33.
Yep.
During construction, the board will require periodic status reports written by a certified professional engineer. This may be in writing or in person at the discretion of the board. They will normally be required monthly, but the board may require them more frequently for particular sensitive sites, complex construction, or other reasons. That's a new one that we've added going forward with all of our site plans. Just we've learned from some other projects, and this is just kind of a way to make sure things are being followed as they should be.
In terms of the discretion of the frequency of the reports, is that going to be negotiated between you and the applicant, or us and the
That's the
applicant?
board. So if when I get these monthly reports, they'll be given to the board.
Yeah, that seems
And
fine.
as if the board feels like because it's a more complex site, or there's been a lot of stormwater issues, or whatever, the board can vote to make that happen more frequent, like every 2 weeks, if the board feels. But it gives the board discretion.
Right. But we're going to start with monthly.
Yeah.
Okay. And that won't be too burdensome, I hope. These reports, do they have to be exhaustive, or it's like
No.
a couple of pages?
It's typically like what I give you guys for Stratton Hill.
Yeah.
Those.
Okay.
So something
Good.
to that.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. And should we read the special conditions into the record?
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Can we comment on that language in the 33?
Yeah.
So the first sentence says the reports will be written, and the second sentence says maybe in writing or in person.
At the discretion of the board.
Okay. And that-
It
So
might be,
meaning the board can have the person come here to give the
Yeah.
the report. If the board feels there's an issue with one of the reports, and they want the applicant to come before.
Maybe could we change the word or to and? Maybe in writing and in person at the discretion? It can't be one.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. In other words, if you want to have
This
them
may
come
be
with
in
the written
writing
report,
and in
you're
person.
asking them
Yeah.
to come in person.
Yeah.
Right.
all right, and that will be in perpetuity when we put this language in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to change written to compose? That way we don't have the contradiction in the second sentence? Will
No.
require periodic status reports composed by a certified professional engineer. This may be in writing or in person. It just makes more sense. Okay, thank you.
And I was going to add one more thing. So, and stamped by a certified engineer. Usually they put the stamp on the letter. On the report.
Not typically on written
All right.
things.
We'll leave it the way it is. Thank you.
Like if Brandon's writing the one, I don't need his stamp. I wouldn't. I don't know. A letter is a letter to me.
Stamp makes it a lot stronger, believe me.
Yeah, but you can always call them in if you feel like there's an issue.
Yeah,
At
okay.
that point,
All right, it's good, thanks.
stamp I would see on a plan. Typically.
I was just going to say, I don't think it rises to the level of the plan. Yeah.
I've seen them stamped.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you for adding that.
So back to
And or in person, and slash or.
Oh, you want to do it and or?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, isn't that what you asked, Ken?
Yeah, that's-
Yeah, thank you.
That gives you the most discretion.
Exactly, thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are our general conditions. There are 5 special conditions on the site plan. The first one is one dwelling unit will be restricted to allow for occupancy by individuals meeting the requirements for affordable housing. The applicant shall work with community development to develop the appropriate restrictions which shall be recorded. The one affordable unit shall qualify for the Massachusetts LIP LAU designation through the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, EOHLC, formerly DHCD. An application for one LAU unit shall be submitted to EOHLC prior to the building permits being granted.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. When you say EOHLC, do you mean formerly used to be the
Yes,
DHCD?
used to be
It's the wrong word.
Former with ER.
Formerly,
With ER.
not formally. Form means formerly.
Oh, I don't
Yes.
Yeah, former, yeah, right.
Formerly, yeah, sorry.
I don't know. Formerly.
I made that
Thank you.
mistake in the past. It happens. But just want to make sure the future
Yeah,
language gets the
I'll
correct.
make sure.
I'm sorry, you were on to number 3.
Wait a minute, I was gonna comment on 2, so you want the application prior to the building permit being granted,
Mm-hmm. So because this is one building,
okay?
they have to make their submission all at once. Because they're getting one building permit for the building. It's not for individual unit. I mean,
Okay.
there will be individual units within it, but it's going to be one building construction.
Okay. I thought it might be more tied into the occupancy, but I guess it's fine. You gotta get the building
No,
permit.
we need, the problem is you need the application submitted, because the process takes a long time. So what we don't want to do is have them build it all out, and then when they go for the CO, then they submit it, and now we're waiting forever on it.
Okay, thank you. That was good.
The one affordable unit shall be and remain affordable in perpetuity and shall be marketed to eligible households whose annual income may not exceed 80% of the area median income, adjusted for household size as determined by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, and subject to the approval of EOHLC formerly.
There you go.
DHCD, and the affordable units shall be eligible to be included in the town subsidized housing inventory as maintained by EOHLC. The applicant shall implement the recommendations made within the traffic impact study created by MDM Transportation Consultants, Inc., dated July 2nd, 2026. And then the next one that was added was vertical granite curbing shall be installed at the radii of the driveway entrance.
Great. Anything else we need to do before we move to vote? I want to open up the public comment first.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you have, no, first it goes to us. I got it. No, don't worry.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for you to finish doing your little writing.
No, go ahead.
So any comments from my colleagues at the table? Any further comments or questions? All right. I'm going to open up for public comment. Anyone in the room here have questions or comments? Hearing none. On Zoom, is anyone participating on Zoom have any questions or comments regarding the agenda item 20 Groton Harvard Road decision?
No hands.
No hands. All right, then I will make a motion that we, wait, you have it written down somewhere.
Yep, number one.
Number one, I make a motion for approval of the site plan pursuant to subsection 320-3.5 site plan review of air zoning bylaw, subject to the standard conditions 1 through 36 and special conditions numbered 1 through 5
Yeah.
in this decision.
Seconded.
Thank you, Peter. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now let's do the major stormwater permit.
Who seconded that?
Peter did.
Do we have to close the public hearing?
No, we have the
Or
waiver.
is that last?
We have to vote on the stormwater.
We have to do the stormwater. So we've already voted the waiver, so we have to do that again.
Yep.
And we've added a sixth finding, which is a repetition of the granite, not sorry, not the finding. No, special conditions, not finding. Pardon me. Okay, that's good. There's 6 of those. So we have the 36 standard. And do you mind if I go ahead into the findings? The special conditions, pardon me. Right, special conditions include, number 1, the certificate of completion shall be recorded at the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds by the owner, and a copy of the recorded decision be submitted electronically to the planning department. 2, 1 dwelling unit shall be...
I don't think we need to.
We don't read that. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
6 are all the same.
All the same as the previous and the previous decision. So you can go into the motion, right?
Yes. Motion is.
Right here on page 2.
Yeah.
I'd like
I
to...
just want to ask one question. The date of the plan, Danny, reflects that catch basin change we just talked about in this materials.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
These are revised date of 8/7/26. No, so I need to get that.
Well, we're going to update that. And what page is that? 5?
7.
Yep.
So I'll update it on both.
What's the correct date?
August 7th.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that, so we stop there. Okay.
Do we need public comment, or is it covered in the previous discussion?
It was covered.
Okay. We can go to motion?
Yep.
All right.
Then it's supposed to, on the motion, it says site plan, but it's supposed to say major stormwater permit. right here. Versus
Oh.
site plan, so it's a major stormwater permit.
And you'll up that?
Yeah,
okay.
I just fixed it already on mine.
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion approval of the major stormwater permit pursuant to subsection 245-5 and 6 Stormwater Management and Air General Bylaws, subject to the standard conditions 1 through 36 and special conditions numbered 1 through 6 in this decision.
For 20 Groton Harvard Road.
Oh, I'm sorry, major stormwater approval, yeah, 20 Harvard Groton Road, yes.
Groton Harvard Road.
Groton Harvard Road.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Congratulations, sir.
Right.
And I wish you the best of luck on this.
Appreciate it.
Next item on our agenda is we have a continued hearing, right? That hearing's already open for Radisson Road, right?
Close. We close
So,
it.
we need a motion to close. Yes, you want to make the
Oh,
motion?
David.
David made a motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing on 20 Groton Harvard Road.
Thank you.
Second.
Ken seconded it. Any further comment? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The hearing is closed. Okay, we ready for Radisson Road?
Okay.
I only see one special condition here. Am I hallucinating?
Nope, that's confirming that is correct.
Okay, just want to make sure. Numbered 1.
Let me open up that one.
And this is,
I don't see anyone here for it. I don't know what happened.
and I think you want to make the same change.
Yeah.
So it's major stormwater permit?
Yeah.
And that's for Radisson Road?
Yeah. There's no one here right now for this.
Can we do this, or we have to wait? The applicant has to have a representative for the decision?
I never heard back from them. They never responded to the email with the decision. They knew that it was on for this night. I don't know.
There's nothing, we're not contesting anything.
No, but I really don't want to be voting on this without a representative here.
Can we continue it then?
So we can continue.
You wanna do
this
that?
if there's no representative here? Yeah, just because
So nothing. You got nothing.
I got no response back from them. They didn't say they were gonna continue. They didn't say, and they didn't respond to my email
Okay.
about the application. About the decision. They knew it was on. I don't know what happened. So I would err on the side of caution and continue
All right.
since there is no representative here.
All right. I'll make a motion then that we continue the public hearing for Radisson Road to our next planning board meeting on August
25th.
August 25th.
Second.
Second, any further discussion?
That particular project, this is the only thing we're doing. There's no site plan involved. Exactly. It's just this.
Yeah, just stormwater because utilities are exempt from site plan review.
Okay. That was all I had.
All right, we have a second, right, on the
Yeah.
motion? So Ken?
Aye, on the continuance.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We will continue the stormwater management permit discussion at our next meeting. Okay. 26 and 30 hasn't been opened yet, right?
Nope.
I'd like to make a motion then to open the public hearing for 26 and 30 Littleton Road, site plan review, stormwater management permit, use special permit and inclusionary housing.
Seconded.
Any discussion? Ken?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It is now open. Do we have a representative?
All of us.
Look who's back. So if you would just all introduce yourselves, that would be wonderful.
Sure. Is this a communal Pepsi?
Sure, I mean,
I'm just joking. Avi Shas, I'm the Director of Development for the Grossman Companies. We are the owners and landlords of the, let's see,
Old Town Village.
Old Town Village, the Verizon building directly abutting that, and 2630 Littleton Road.
And I think for this evening, the plan is that allow you to do the initial presentation, walk us through the plans, give us the narrative, and then we can discuss back and forth some of the initial comments. We respect the fact that you have received the department head comments, but obviously hasn't been sufficient time to make responses, so we don't expect to hear your responses to those this evening.
Yeah.
So, Danny, do you want to set them anything up, or would you
Yes.
prefer? Yeah, you go for it.
So this is a site plan review application as well as a major stormwater management permit. There's a special permit for the multifamily use within the general business, and it also triggers our inclusionary housing bylaw. So this project, encompasses a lot of different aspects of our of the zoning bylaws and triggers. So, just with that introduction, I'll turn it over to Brandon.
Yeah, so if I may, I'm just going to give a quick little background. So the Grossman Company is a long-standing owner and heir. The family, I think it's now we're on our third generation of real estate. The real estate group that's owned here in Ayer. I think this is the first time that we, at least in my tenure, that we're making a larger investment in the town. The families, when we purchased the properties, the Lazy Mary property and the direct abutting residential property, our process was initially to look at what the highest and best use. I think it was the commercial group's intention to retire, and we were the obvious purchaser of the property, abutting them on two sides. The existing property, which you can see a little bit of, is fronted by the main building, which houses the community center, our leasing office, and it represents the main entry point off of Littleton Road. So that said, we went through a number of iterations on what commercial would be applicable to that site, and what we settled on ultimately was an assemblage with the existing property and additional residential units, taking advantage of the infrastructure that we have, the property management, and amenities in place. So that being said, we engaged Brandon's team and Peter's team to come up with a project that would get us the based on the zoning, and we had discussions with Danny in advance, and had an idea of what we could do, but given all the site contours and the property, direct abutting property, our intention was to create something that would be harmonious with the existing property. It's kind of a campus style, so there's a lot of two other buildings kind of front one another and create a courtyard. So we were looking to try to accomplish that as well, with the obvious goal of trying to clean up the curb cuts along the Copeland and Littleton Road line, which right now is completely open. So creating some definition, creating some vegetation, a buffer. I think Danny and maybe from our departmental review, but I think Danny ahead of time had alerted us to the fact that the traffic on Copeland and ingress and egress was a concern. So our intent was to create something that worked and solved and mitigated a lot of the challenges. So when Brandon starts talking about the path, the vehicular path through the site, a lot of thought was given to how that works and making that as great of an improvement as possible. And then Peter will talk about the actual building, but the overall intention there is that it's new construction, which has its benefits. The idea is to make it sit back from the road as much as possible, well lit, security. They'll have some more contemporary market expectations of work from home pods in the basement, and some communal space that will supplement what's in the community space, in the community building that fronts Littleton. So with that, I'll turn it over to Brandon, to give you a little more in-depth dive into the site work, and then Peter can walk you through the design of the residential building.
All right, Brandon Ducharme with David E. Ross. Just to kind of walk you through the design process. Obviously, Old Town Village is an existing community. The two properties that were acquired to incorporate this new development is there was a single-family residence which abuts the office and community center, and with frontage along Littleton Road. And then it was Lazy Mary's, which was obviously a commercial use that fronts on Littleton as well as Copeland. As you can see, there was several existing curb cuts, one of which is pretty much right along the whole radius between Copeland and Littleton. Those two properties comprise approximately 1.2 acres of land. And the goal here in development would be to incorporate those two parcels of property into the balance of the land that's currently within the Old Town Village development. And specifically, as we look at the proposed building, there's a single structure, which will be a 32-unit multifamily building, and that is tied in together with the existing building that's behind. There'll be, as Avi said, like a courtyard type circulation between the two buildings, as well as access to the remaining balance of the site. We have reduced the overall curb cut to have the main entrance that will be along Littleton Road. That'll be a 24-foot wide, two-way access into the site that will wrap into our site and then ultimately tie into Old Town Road, which will serve as what we'll say the main corridor for larger vehicles to access into the site and then tie through into the existing development. From that access way, we've got a couple other access points. As you come off of Littleton, the first parking bay will be single load, so one-way directional traffic. That'll be 14 feet wide, and it will have angled parking spots that'll wrap through the site. And then adjacent to the building, that'll be a 24-foot wide access way that can accommodate two-way traffic with parking on either side of it. The total amount of parking that's shown on this plan is 49 spaces, which accommodates single as well as multiple bedroom units within the building.
So, excuse me, I have a
Yep.
question. So, one way this way, right?
Yep,
But what about this way? Is this going to be two-way?
two-way, so that's
This is two-way also?
correct. Yeah. So, I mean, the main design would be to have the through traffic enter in through the one-way and flush through the site. But where we have parking on either side of that access in front of the building, we need to provide.
There'd be a stop sign.
Okay, I was
at
going to
that
say
point,
that people understand
and
they
do
can't
not
go this
enter.
way. Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the comments.
All right,
Yep.
I know, sorry.
So that
for presenting the
signage will
obvious,
be on the
but-
revised drawings.
Yeah.
Could be another plan.
No, it was the pavement markings and all
There's
that.
no pavement markings.
Yeah.
We just haven't got that
Yeah.
on the drawings yet.
It was one of the comments from from I believe Matt.
Okay.
So I mean, that pretty much covers the interior circulation in terms of utilities and stormwater. We are picking up all of the roof runoff, which goes to that subsurface infiltration system that'll be below the front parking lot. And as well as there is an infiltration basin that's on the grading and drainage plan, which is located just adjacent to some of the existing parking opposite the office and community center. Both of these are infiltrating through the 100-year storm event. There's an outlet control structure in there which ties into the existing drainage system. The stormwater calculations and report have been provided to the board, just showing that we are at or below what the pre-construction both rate and volume of runoff is. In terms,
Thank you. When we're looking at the stormwater design, is this exclusively accommodating the water from the new 2 lots you've incorporated into the assemblage, or is it also picking up any water from the previously developed areas and their system into this? Did that make sense?
Yep. So essentially anything that we're proposing, we're modifying grades and altering the site, this is picking up and attenuating. There also is an existing...
So you're picking up and
attenuating, basically. So it's both treating and controlling the runoff from any of the new alteration.
The new alteration, anything from the old part too, because now it's one big assembled thing. Is it taking anything from any of the old areas, or is it already taken care of by its previous stormwater design?
Yeah, so great question. So there is currently in place an existing stormwater management system. And ultimately,
this
there's a series of...
some redundancy.
Yeah, so there's a collection system, there's a series of catch basins, and if you were to continue on beyond the property, there's a wetland further on the back, but there's an existing stormwater management, there's a detention pond.
Okay.
And because of the proximity of the existing stormwater system to the wetland, as well as a lot of the new requirements for stormwater, we just felt it was a more responsible way is essentially to treat this in addition or separately. But ultimately, it encompasses a portion of that existing system.
Okay, thank you.
In terms of utilities, we're looking at tying into the existing infrastructure within Copeland. There's existing gas, water, and sewer located within Copeland. The proposed building, we're showing a connection there's a 12-inch water main. There's 2 service lines there. One would be a potable domestic supply, and the other would be for the fire suppression system. Additionally, there is a gas service line or main that runs along the gutter of Copeland, which will tie into that, and that ties into the front portion of the building. In regard to sewer, we have a proposed connection coming out of the upper right-hand corner, where the sewer will be tied together from the building. It goes to a series of drain manholes and ties into Copeland. And essentially, the reason for tying in further down is the goal here would be to maintain a gravity feed. Just given the fact that there are basement units, and when pumps are all working as they're supposed to, there's no issue. But given the fact that if anything were to happen, we'd prefer obviously a gravity connection. There's a series of internal walkways to provide access from parking areas and to collect people to bring them to the building, as well as it ties into the existing pedestrian access ways throughout the site. You can see on here, based on the way that the site is graded, there's a retaining wall that will kind of run along a portion of Littleton Road and around Copeland. That wall will be approximately 3 to 4 feet in height, but again, kind of partitions off and limits, so there's no access to Copeland. We do, however, have what we're calling a secondary or maintenance entrance off of Copeland, so that would not be for everyday vehicle trips, and through that connection we'd have access to our trash and recycling, which we're showing there.
I got a stupid question. So for the current Old Town Village properties, people access through Old Town Road? Is that the entrance? Okay.
And
that.
Copeland.
And Copeland, there's entrances.
Yeah, it goes right through.
But that is an exit only
Okay, yep.
on Copeland.
There's this one, and then there's this.
So our goal is the goal of vehicular circulation is to still maintain Old Town Village Road as the primary road. The entrance to this new 49 car lot would be, for that remote building. The idea is, in some sense, that you could enter in through the new curb cut and circulate around the main building.
You
and
can do that,
leave
okay.
And we're connecting the lot so that everything, circulates.
Okay, good.
And the goal is to basically create like a turnaround
Yep.
with, an enormous queue so that there's no backup, people can get off the road easily and quickly. We do understand that we will need to go through Mass DOT on Littleton. We did submit as part of our package a traffic impact report, which invariably shows that residential, because of its the limited trips, has a much diminished impact from what a commercial restaurant
Right.
use would be.
Do you think you need signage to tell people, oh, for building A, this way, building B, or you don't have to distinguish which entrance is appropriate depending which apartment building you're trying to access?
So I think my guess is initially the main signage, we will probably refurbish or enhance the main signage at our main building, the community center and leasing office. And I would say that most new residents or prospective residents would be coming in on Old Town Village Road.
Oh, they would. Okay.
Which is to the left,
Yeah, right.
and they would be parking in those visitor parking spaces and office parking spaces
I see what you're
associated with it. And then once they, decide, I want to be a resident, people will figure it out pretty quickly. I
Okay.
mean,
That makes sense.
we will put as much environmental signage and wayfinding as the board, deems necessary, but in my mind, people will always find a way, and two, a lot of people just don't regard signs. So it's, we will do everything that we can, but the intent here is to take the burden off of Littleton,
Yeah.
which
That's
just
a
by
good idea.
closing 60, I think it was just 60 feet on Copeland of
Yeah.
pure curb
That's
cut.
a great idea.
And now no one is entering onto Copeland from this 49 spaces. So to get to Copeland, you would still have to circulate through the site and enter at least a couple hundred feet back from the intersection, which is a much safer.
Yeah. Because I remember going to Lazy Mary's and parking gets a little tricky that way.
Yeah.
You go crazy. And you have to have eyes in the back of your head to make sure.
And you're mixing truck traffic with. So our intention was to really have the only traffic entering onto Copeland are trash pickup, which is very intermittent, and any large loading, which would be just to the right of the building shown. You see the two dumpsters.
Oh, while we're on it, snow storage for the new area?
Sure.
Oh, it's shown, right? We're just if you could point it out to me, just.
Right here.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
It would be a nice feature for the community building.
Yeah.
Build snow castles.
No, it looks like you thought out quite a few things.
We tried. I mean, I think it was really helpful to come and do the departmental meeting.
Yeah.
Everybody was really great. We got a lot of great feedback from that that we were able to incorporate into our affordable housing proposal, which was, I think, pretty comprehensive. And I know that your team and our team have already gone back and forth, and formerly DHCD, the EOL, all those regulations have been kind of sussed out, and I think we're in a good place there. But in general, the goal is to be as comprehensive in our.
And if I recollect, Fire didn't have any comments, right? Or
So
did
Fire
they?
did have two comments.
Two men-
The initial one was the turning radius.
Okay, they
which-
did. That's right.
Yep. So whether or not the fire trucks could make it. So Brandon and I spoke earlier, and they've run them, but they're gonna provide the turning templates on the turning exhibits.
That's that east side, on the right?
Yeah, so I think they were asking if they can make it through here or not.
That's what I was wondering too.
So, I believe he has a plan showing the turning radiuses and on that, and they'll have to talk with the fire department about that. And in terms of his other comment was, a connection on Copeland. I spoke with the chief about it yesterday, and he was kind of like, oh, it was just something they were looking for in terms of safety, like just in case there's a blockage on it or something.
Another fire connection.
But I did explain to him that we were trying to avoid that Copeland connection just because of the proximity to that intersection area, and he said, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So he was fine with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, we'll do a turning exhibit using their fire truck running through the site. And then usually we'll have a discussion with him just to make sure that he agrees with how we're gonna move to the site.
Yeah, I think we have a comprehensive response, like that's 90% done from all the comments that we received. It was just, as you said, it was just a timing thing and updating the drawings. If you're all set with site, Peter, do you want to quickly run?
Wait, Ken, let our board member. So Ken, do you want to start? We got some questions.
Well, the first one I'll ask is there a hydrant shown somewhere? Am I missing it?
Hydrant.
A hydrant.
So
Near the building somewhere?
in terms of existing
the-
hydrants?
No, a new hydrant.
In terms of existing hydrants?
No, a new hydrant.
New hydrant.
Okay.
Does it?
No, so based on, there'll be an internal sprinkler system within the building, which would be directly connected to that water supply.
I mean, they're gonna ask for a hydrant, right?
Not necessarily. They haven't asked for it yet.
So
Well, my question would be that I would believe that there should be a hydrant somewhere in the vicinity of the building, a new hydrant. That's one of my comments. So, start with that.
We can talk to the fire chief to see if he wants it.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah, if they haven't asked for it, I mean, I know the building is going to be sprinklered. They typically request those if they want them.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, you want me to go on with a couple more things?
Please.
How do you want to do it?
Yeah, we definitely do.
So, you haven't, I'm gonna just go to the retaining wall. Have you shown any detail on what that retaining wall is?
So no formal design has been done on the wall.
Not yet. This is our kind of preliminary.
Okay.
So we will have structural drawings of the profile of the retaining wall at varying levels, whatever the heights are.
I'm
So
just
what
concerned with
happens-
the appearance. Well, is that Peter?
Yes.
Could you look into what the retaining wall is gonna look
I
like?
think the landscape architect probably intends to deal with that.
So I mean, we've got nice stone walls in some places, we have terrible,
And that's just,
reinforced concrete walls in other.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be
there's
such
a
it's such a
vegetation
big
plan.
visual. It's such a big visual, I thought it
Yeah.
would be important.
Yeah.
Figure out what that is.
You're talking about the one on the back
No,
wall?
all the way.
Oh, you're talking about
along the
this
front.
one?
All around the front.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're talking about the one up on the front.
Yeah, I don't
So-
the one in the back.
And my understanding of that retaining wall, and correct me if I'm wrong, is from the street, that's actually a very low retaining wall.
Yeah, you can't.
It's high from the inside of the parking lot.
Either way,
Okay.
yeah, it's a nice feature.
Wow.
So there's our landscaping plan. So
Trying to see
you're
if
not gonna,
there's a
you won't ever
detail.
see that wall from the outside.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's any detail on here. He does not have anything.
I don't think
Right.
Yeah.
So the
Oh no, he does right over here. No, that's the
That's the
that's for
landscape.
the
the
building.
back. Okay, yeah, never mind.
So I guess my comment is there's a number of it's essentially a non-structural because it's less than 4 feet. So there's a number of different wall systems that could be employed there, which is why I usually say design, by others as they figure. Does the board have any comment or suggestion on? Because again, you're looking
That'd be
over
a
the
problem
top.
if you asked me that.
Yeah.
So it would be the most expensive,
Yeah.
stone, New England style stone wall that could be built.
the cash
we can't do
register is
that.
going.
So,
So
I think
I
it's
mean,
better for you to show us what you think you have in mind.
Yeah. Okay. We can get Bert to add that to the comments.
Where the dumpsters are shown, that's a piece of pavement, I presume, over there, but there doesn't seem to be any stormwater review or treatment over there. Just gonna run back onto the street?
It's actually going to come into the site, grading, yeah. So based on the grades there, it's going to, work its way around. Yep, exactly.
Just running off onto the ground?
Yep.
Something like that?
Yeah, into the grass.
Okay. Detail. I'm not sure if you talked about deliveries. This is a huge topic we run into all the time, and how you get deliveries to the building, and now everyone's got a lot of deliveries coming and going.
It's the biggest, it's the only discussion that's had in multifamily design, and in the interior of the space, when Peter runs through it, the largest kind of public space in the first floor is our package and mail room.
Yeah.
It's all, so we expect that everybody will be receiving packages. You plan for
Right.
kind of the worst case scenario, which is, the holiday season. What we won't have here, which we have employed in others, is, refrigerated storage rooms when people get their groceries. In talking to our property managers at this site, there's not a lot of grocery delivery, but there are a lot of Amazon and your typical deliveries. So we fully expect to have deliveries. We expect that the deliveries will circulate through the site along the one-way and come up, and there will be a drop-off spot. We also know that deliveries currently happen in the parking spaces where delivery vehicles park above, just north of I think it's north, but above the office building, exactly where Danny's cursor is. So delivery vehicles for the entire building park there. When they can't get into the spaces, the mail person will bring the mail into the office. Packages that don't fit, or they don't want them to be stuck in the rain. So it is something that we think about. It is a very important aspect of multifamily.
mail kiosk is?
But you don't, there's no real provision for a delivery truck to park. And
They just go in.
So the delivery trucks can park. We'll have delivery vehicles, visitor,
you
and
wanna have them get into the other parking lot?
they park right there. They would park right there.
Right up here.
I don't think that's gonna happen. In the real world, they're gonna park right in front of the building. They're gonna stand there and
Well, it's how it's currently handled today. So the people these delivery drivers already know the process.
okay.
Correct.
That's great.
So, and again, that's a 24-foot wide access way there. So,
Yep.
even if an
somebody-
Amazon trucker was parked on the side by the sidewalk making deliveries, vehicles can still get around it.
Yeah, Ken, you're 100% right. They're going to do whatever they want to
They're
do.
gonna park right in front of the building.
But the reality is that the first door that they walk in is our package delivery room.
Okay.
There's video cameras. There will be cameras on the outside of this building watching the parking from a security perspective. This is one of the closest buildings to the office. We have
Okay.
on-site staff, so 24-hour-a-day response. So if God forbid the Amazon truck broke down in the parking lot, we would know about it.
Okay, thank you. So the subsurface system, Brandon, that's treating both some of the parking lot and the roof drains, or whatever the case might be, size of both.
Yep. So
And then
of the
there's,
subsurface units there, that's predominantly all rooftop runoff.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's all rooftop.
Yep. So the catch basin for there is going to collect the storm water, which goes down to that drain manhole, which continues on down to the infiltration basin.
wow, so the whole subsurface is just for roof drains?
Yep.
Kind of inexpensive. Whatever.
I
Okay.
agree. You want to waiver that?
I thought there was some provision that the roof systems were cleaner than your typical parking lot system. And
They are cleaner, so in terms of polishing, like it's typically a storm scepter type technology that
Yeah.
would polish the water. So really what that's looking at is a volume. And
Volume,
based
okay.
upon the requirements,
Right.
is that size based on a 100-year, 24-hour storm,
Okay,
which is, can be quite a bit.
Mhm.
not for me to redesign it, believe me. That would be precedent. So there's just one other stormwater question, and that's that looks like a new catch basin here. So you're asking the water to run right at that, down this slope. Goes from 250 to 243, it's gonna have some acceleration. And you think you can catch it right there instead of in the corner of the lot?
You thinking right here?
Yeah. I just don't know how it's pitched.
Yeah, where that's existing,
Oh, that's, okay,
we can, the catch basin is not existing, but the pavement surface
yeah.
is existing. So at the moment, that is the low point, which
Yeah.
is why,
You can see the
otherwise
contour.
typically if we were designing
It is
the
the
new,
low
yeah,
point there.
you'd have it in
It
that
is.
back
Corner.
corner.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
You can see the contour.
That's good.
You can see that right there, that line. That's the.
Now, there was a question that came up, well, in the zoning question, is that a 20% requirement for open space. And you said it was 60%, something like that?
There's a significant amount of open space.
Right, but you're showing us the two other lots that are shown are the existing lots, not the new lot.
So before
Oh,
we
wait a minute,
submit,
actually,
we're
this is
combining the
complicated because
lots.
it's not a lot anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
It's,
So
it's
not a
being
lot anymore,
combined
right.
with the rest of the.
Okay, so, may I, okay, let you keep going.
Well, I was
It's related to this, but go
I
ahead.
was going to say that then we cannot apply the open space requirement, can we? It's a minimum 20%.
There's a open space requirement that they have to comply with.
But that 20% is the overall assemblage, not the
Yes.
new area.
Correct.
Correct.
The whole.
It's for the
combined
overall
lots.
site. Here,
Now-
I can pull up the
So
dimensional.
like
requirement.
8.6 acres is
Okay,
the total.
okay. So you use the whole,
Yeah.
the whole,
So,
it's
the
right
whole
here.
project, open space. Okay.
may I?
Yeah, sure.
So one of the first things I noticed when I looked at the plan was the parking seems to be in front of the building. And then I called my people, Ken and Danny, and explained to me patiently, nope, because once it's assembled, because remember these two lots go away, it's assembled, and the frontage is which one is?
So this is the front. So this is the front building. This is the closest building to the frontage. This is the primary building.
So the frontage is what, Old Town Road, or so can
So the way it works is, it's the one you're talking about is it can't be in front of it can't be further than the frontmost portion of the building.
Oh, I guess, so that's the front.
This is the frontmost portion of the building.
So here's what point I want to get at. I just want to be sure that if we're making calculations, like for instance with drainage, et cetera, that's about the whole assemblage, that we're consistent. So you can't do both. You can't have assemblage and then something just for this. So for example, the affordable housing calculation, does that change? Is that part of
It's
the...
only for new construction.
It's only for the new construction because of the way our laws, our
Because,
bylaws and
yeah, the way
regulations
it's
are written?
Well, that's the state.
So that's just for the new stuff. Okay, so that is not assembled
Yeah. We
calculation.
can't retroactively make them go back.
That's okay, but I want to make sure it's
it's a
clear
good
because
question.
people are going to ask questions about, well, wait a minute, how come it's assembled here, but then you go to new construction here? I just want to make sure we're cognizant of that and we stay on the narrow path.
In terms of the actual zoning
Okay.
dimensional requirements,
Yes,
that's kind of what is used as the overall.
zoning dimensional.
Yeah, the
Okay.
dimensional requirements, the stormwater calculations, all that kind of stuff. Like, but in terms of the inclusionary housing bylaw, that's only for new construction.
Well, and frankly, with the landscape plan, you're not going to see much of that lot from Littleton Road.
No.
No.
That's the idea.
That's
Yeah,
that
that's the whole
was our
part.
intent.
Yeah, it's so the parking lot is lower.
Actually lower, so you're not going to see squat. You're going to see a row of trees and a little bit of the retaining wall.
Mm-hmm.
And what's not going to be there anymore is that chaos over on the road on the right.
Yeah.
In that whole.
This right here.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be gone. That chaos is gone.
That's all going to be covered up.
That's an improvement. Okay.
Yeah, can you go over that cut with the retaining wall, but just point it out again? The
Yeah,
cut on the
so-
front, to back up what Jonathan just said.
Yeah, so as you start, let's say that the low area of the site is where the access comes off of Littleton Road.
Yep.
And then as you move across the site towards Copeland, the existing grade comes up substantially.
Oh, right.
So what we've done is again, because we're going to be parking on that surface, we need to minimize the overall grade across the face of the lot. So we're coming up at about 3% slope, which is a very gradual slope. And essentially what that does is we have that retaining wall which tears down from the road. So if you were to stand on the road, you actually don't see the wall, you're looking over the top.
Yep.
And if you were inside the parking lot, you're going to look back and there's going to be a 3 to 4 foot high retainage that basically allows us to keep that access road through the parking lot.
Well, I remember, let's remember to have a site visit scheduled. Thanks.
All the curb in this particular job is vertical granite, the whole parking lot, right?
Well,
Doesn't it have a note there?
well, along the wall, it's
believe-
Cape Cod,
It
right?
said vertical.
I believe
no,
it's
it's
Cape
just in
Cod.
a couple-
Road.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's Cape
based on
Cod.
the landscape plan details that as well. It's vertical granite.
Well,
Oh, let me just see
I
what
can
the.
see it.
wait a minute. Wait.
Yep, I'm just trying to see what the call. Well, it says Cape Cod berm.
It says Cape Cod berm on here.
Yeah.
Some
Yep.
places it's
So
vertical.
vertical
And then
granite.
vertical
Right
granite.
at all the interface between the parking and the sidewalk
Is vertical, and then it's Cape Cod berm as what follows.
along the axis.
Yep, and then around the okay. Good.
Correct. The intention is that we'll be able to mound up some like mulch and, grasses on the inside of that wall just to dress it up. But as you, and I, the sidewalk and that, I guess bioswale piece in between where we have the lights, that will all have vertical granite.
Nice.
And, but, so this is the same question we had with the other one, Brandon, the entrance off, the state's gonna make you put that in vertical granite off this,
So
Up
yeah,
to it anyway.
it's similar to the last one. We can do vertical. Yeah.
it's not really,
Yeah, if it's not shown there, we'll comply with whatever the
yeah,
state.
you want, yeah, well,
Just
we want a vertical
remember,
granite too, so. That's kind of what I had for the first night, thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Peter, David.
I might be confused, but I thought our bylaws said that parking had to be behind the building.
Yes, so it does, except for in multifamily, it says
alright.
to the extent practicable.
Okay.
So so because this it's its own separate bylaw section, and this is actually a conversation I had with Ken today. It's something that I think when it comes to multifamily, you don't want the building closest to the road and then the parking behind it because there's a security aspect to that. So.
David, I had the same question.
But-
I did too. So,
But
yeah.
yes, if this weren't a multifamily, if this was
Okay.
any other kind of development, then it would apply.
But what I'm grateful for is that the design makes it discreet.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to get too far into this and then all of a sudden it
Yeah.
comes up and says, hey, well, wait a minute, this is in violation
Yep.
of.
Right.
Yeah, no,
something else.
it actually came up initially when we spoke to them
Okay.
on our initial meeting with them.
But as you're driving up and down Littleton Road, you're not going to see the lot. You're going to see the building further back. You're going to see
Yeah.
the profile of the building. You're not going to, because the spaces will be down below.
Correct.
It'll look good.
With the trees, I mean,
Yeah,
you'll have,
exactly.
I think it's 2 rows of trees and then, low shrubs right in front of the building. So, I mean, it's a solid screen as far as, screening goes. The imposition of, a 2.5 story building right up against the road would also be, not, even with average alignment would still be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly how far back is the building going to be from Littleton Road? Just guesstimate.
I think it's 60 feet.
40.
The top one is 60 feet, so that's 18, 18, and 24, so 70, and then another 28, so roughly 100 feet.
Yeah, so good distance.
Yeah.
And that little access road, how wide is that, did you say? The little access road that leads to the...
From Copeland?
This one? No, the one that leads off. That's the little access road that leads
Right
to
there.
where the...
To the office.
Yeah, to
That's-
no, the other...
oh, this one
no,
right
to
here?
where the
That's 2
Amazon drivers we're hoping are going to drop.
Yeah,
things
That's
off.
24 feet.
It's 24 feet, okay.
It's standard,
Yeah.
two-way drive out of the way.
I'm not really sure if this is appropriate. Any thought on a ADA apartments?
There are definitely gonna be ADA apartments.
Well, I mean,
So which apartments,
well, no,
we'll flush that out, but I believe that the requirement is, I can't remember the percentage,
5%.
5%, but that there will be one of each unit type. So at least, so it's 5% or one of each unit size. That might be, I might be mixing that up with affordable, but.
Yeah. Probably 2. They're called
well,
2.
that's my other passion is the
Of course.
ADA compliance.
Yep. So this building will have an elevator in it. This building will have, compliant access. And those units will obviously be outfitted with all the, required accommodations. You got it.
Just one question for the architect, sorry.
He hasn't done his presentation yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so why don't we let, so
I
I think
didn't
we can.
introduce myself.
Yeah, so let's let Peter introduce himself and do the presentation on the architect, and then we can, that'd be great.
I'm happy to
Thank
take
you,
your
Peter.
questions. Thank you. My name is Peter Quinn, architect of record. And thank you for setting up this meeting. It's been great. So, when you look at this building from Littleton Road, it does appear to be a 2-story building. And it's because we're using the contours to have a garden level. It's not really a basement because it's quite open on the backside.
Right.
And we, have done that, try to work with the landscape a little bit. If you go to the next slide, or the next sheet, that's our garden level there. All the parts of the building that
I get it.
are sort of toward the parking are dark. So that's where we have our utilities, we have some storage spaces, we have some areas slab on grade there, just because of what's above it. And we also have some work rooms that residents can use for home working. Just a feature that we want to make sure is available for the
Nice.
residents. And then going up, and I'll talk a little more about the units. The main entry, now this is what we call the first floor, but technically it's the second floor of the building. You enter more or less into the center of the building. You have the elevator in front of you because the main corridor is 2 or 3 feet up. So,
And Ken, for your benefit,
yeah.
right when you enter the left door is the large package room.
Yeah.
So that's all for package accommodation.
Yeah.
So the package and then the mail is to your right.
Exactly. So
And it's a singular elevator, right? One elevator,
Yeah.
not two. Okay.
yeah. The elevator, you could do sort of an oversized one, but we'll have to determine what size we're required to do for this many units. But all the units at this point are 1 bedrooms or 1 bedroom plus, and by plus I mean they have an internal study or a niche where somebody could have a home office. In fact, 19 of the 32 total units are these 1+ units. And then, as I mentioned, there are these other workspaces in the basement that are available too. So it's kind of a forward-thinking building, how people are actually living these days, and they're generous in terms of their size. All the bedrooms have nice frontage, toward the street or toward the other building in the rear. We do have some short-term bike spaces on the front as well. That's to address, I think that's built into the bylaw as well. 2 stairways sort of diagonally opposite within the building, one there and then one on the other side. They both egress directly to the exterior.
Right.
Going to the next level, if you can scroll down, it's identical in every way, except for we have one more unit because we don't have the entry. So that unit is built over the entry area. Let's go to the elevations. So, that's a roof plan. So we've actually, I'll come back to that, but we've cut into the roof a flat area on the rear where all the mechanical systems, these will likely be, the mini split condensers that'll be on the roof, 1 per unit. plus some for the common areas. And then going down.
And that is hidden in,
Yeah.
carved into the slope. So from the sides,
Can't
and
see it.
as everyone's looking at it, you see a slope, and
Yep.
there's an area that's just recessed. So it's a penthouse or a platform that's accessible. But I think that was a question from one of the departments. You know, are there going to be air conditioners all over the ground?
Yep.
That's-
Board of Health.
That's the answer.
Fortunately, the answer is no.
No.
You can just scroll down a little bit. There we go. So this is our front elevation. So we're using similar materials to what the rest of the development has,
Right.
but we're also doing it in a different way, kind of working with the long elevation of Littleton Road that you see. The building is quite long. So we have this base made out of a thin brick detail, and then above that, at the window level and going up to the roof, is a clapboard. So that kind of gives an interesting twist on the way the rest of the building, and kind of gives a stronger presence out toward Littleton Road. We also use the hip roof on the attic level. And that is also commensurate with what's available, or how the existing project was designed. Right now we're speccing double hung windows and some awning windows as well. They're very generous. I think they'll bring very good light into all the units.
So
Yeah.
it looks like the design, when you're saying the brick and then the clapboard, is you're really emphasizing the horizontal line.
Yeah.
I was going to pick a little Frank Lloyd Wright little detail.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. You gotta- I was wondering if somebody was going to say that.
There you go.
Yeah,
No, I like it.
we actually like the idea that this is a long building and that it,
And the design
it's
should
parallel
go
to a
with it.
major road,
Exactly, right.
So that's.
What I
that's
don't
where-
want to see is a long building and then lots of vertical lines. And
Exactly.
it looks like chaos.
And actually, in fairness, the existing development has a lot of that vertical stuff, but it's a different setting, and so, we try to just turn that sort of 90 degrees here.
Yep,
You see what
I got you.
And then you can see the short ends of the building. This is the one facing Copeland Drive.
Yep.
The basement at this point is all basement. It's buried, so you're not seeing that.
You can also see the outline of where the condensers would go.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
up in there in that little pocket. And then finally, the back elevation where you see the full 3 stories facing the other existing building. There's also some outdoor space here that's very nice, that does allow, it sort of builds a little bit of a courtyard and community between the 2 buildings.
So what you didn't see in the basement plan is
Yep.
that those French doors that are right there,
Yeah.
those go into a community room. That spills into, those work from home pods, and that's unlike the other units, which the other buildings on the property, which are all walk-ups. This obviously is internal vertical circulation, but we also have, we have laundry machines and laundry space. These will all have in-unit laundry, and the difference here, are the nice thing here, and you'll see from the landscape plans, is how what Peter's done with locating that community space, and then what our landscape architect has done, kind of setting up a nice outdoor space that then bleeds in to that courtyard feel between the buildings. So it's, in my mind, and it's high design. It is still very complementary of the architecture and stylistically of what's there, but in modern materials, modern ways, durable. And I think that after this is done, the refurbishment and upkeep of the other buildings will follow suit from a material standpoint, where we'll do away with some of the horizontal or vertical clapboard rather, and go vertical board and go with some more horizontal, and start tying everything back into this for the next generation. So that's the intent, to set a new standard.
Just kudos for putting the washer and dryers in the units, because there's no least attractive part of a building than a laundry room. It's just depressing and dirty and kind of
Dude, you're talking about my childhood here.
Yep.
So it's, I like the,
I grew up in the garden department, man. I know, man. Hauling laundry through the snow, man.
Yes.
It's true. It's a big benefit. So, you know, the goal, I guess, will be for, you know, residents to befriend one another and use their laundry, or, you know.
There you go.
Social laundry.
Yeah. But the other laundry rooms are located throughout the property and also in the main, you know, community building up front.
Okay.
Just, if I may add, so of the 32 units, 2 of these will be what they call Group 2, to answer your question. And those are completely decked out for handicap access, including the grab bars and
So everything in the bathrooms is already set up for
already set up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the remainder, 30 of them, will be what they call Group 1. You may be familiar with that. So that could be, any of those could be converted or adapted, is how they actually describe it in the code. So, yep.
And I believe per the affordable housing report 3 will be deemed affordable units. And I think that those were shown on a plan.
Yeah.
Submitted as well.
Good.
And there was a follow-up report that we received today from Katie Neville from
Yeah.
the community development that I have to send over to you guys.
Okay.
Just kind of after you guys revised your marketing plan and all that, they provided a new letter for that. So I'll send that over to you
Okay,
guys as
great.
well.
Okay, good. Any further questions or comments from the board?
Yeah.
Go for it.
On this landscape materials plan L1, it shows the finished floor is 253. And then your plan showed like 256 or something like that. Is that just an error on
It's
one?
possibly it's just an error, or it's the
It's 256 then.
It's 256.
whatever's on the architecturals and the civil drawings is correct. It's possible that not everything got updated.
Well,
It comes in one level and then
it says 253. It does actually say on your architectural, it says 253.
Well, the entrance might be at
That's what my
253, but
question
the
is.
floor might be at, because you walk upstairs
Oh, okay.
when you enter into the building.
Right,
There's
that's
a
right.
set of
Oh yeah, you're right. You see it right here.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah, there's stairs that after the mailroom that go up
Yeah.
to the first floor.
Yeah, just
Okay.
as a comment, we, as architects, we found it quite difficult to work with the height limitations that are in the bylaw because, you know, it's counted to, I think, to the ridge.
Yeah.
To the
and
midpoint of
to the
midpoint,
median.
but then doing it average grade and all that. So
Yeah.
anyways, it's hard to get it to work right. So that's one of the reasons why we had to play with the elevation of the floors quite a bit and suppress it where we could.
Okay, that's nice. So anyone coming in for ADA and get to the elevator goes right in on the 253, and then if you have to step up to the first floor,
Yep.
you go up a few steps.
Yeah, it's a double-sided elevator,
Yeah,
so
see it.
You go in, you go up 3 feet on the
That's it.
elevator, yeah.
Um,
So it's a pass-through elevator.
So, Peter, I'm presuming this is a simple question, but I'm presuming you already did it. We are a green community, so you designed to that standard of insulation. The town of Ayer complies with the green communities, so we're like 20% above.
stretch code.
Stretch code.
Yeah. Is it the specialized stretch code?
No.
No,
it's
not
the regular,
the
Yeah.
long,
the regular stretch code.
regular.
Yeah. Is it going to change in the future? Is there
No.
talk?
so we will be compliant with whatever the regulations are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
very, very, very simply, we have not taken the drawings to that level yet,
Correct.
but once the
Just making a comment, 'cause
Yeah.
it's just something that.
oh yeah, that's
Stretch code is
it's part of our, you know, the Grossman family, you know, I don't know, their ethos dating back to the Grossman lumber days is
I was just going to
No,
ask.
don't go
Okay,
there.
so it is the same family
It is
with
the
the
same
lumber,
family.
okay.
Favorite lumber company when I was a
It was
kid.
yeah. So they're in their 8th generation of the family, and
Jeez.
the 2 current owners are around my age, and their father still comes in, and their grandfather has, passed away years ago, but, the family's been in real estate since the 70s when they sold the operating Grossman lumber business, but maintained all the land under all of the,
Locations.
Wise.
we're smart people out there.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
So, but the family's always been focused on, environmental, advocacy and, supporting green. We haven't talked about solar, but it's something that they would be interested in looking at if it was, provided any benefit and, beyond, the obvious benefit. But, so to that end, yes.
Thank you.
I
Okay.
have
Thank
one
you, Mr.
question.
Chairman.
Go for it.
Brandon, do you know if there has to be a electrical charging station here?
Yeah, code was, energy code.
Good question.
You're gonna have, you're gonna have 10%, whatever the parking lot is, it's gonna be 10%.
Built into it, like
So
have
it's
it.
10% infrastructure, but how many actual units?
Yeah, the question is, how many
So-
actual ones do you think you'll need? Because I'd assume. I mean, do you have any currently
Do we? Oh yeah.
there?
Oh no, not at.
Nothing.
But we also don't have any electric vehicle. No, not any resident has an electric
Okay.
vehicle. Nor has anyone asked.
Yeah.
So we'll put them there, and we would be. So what we have done in the past is, and what some communities, are aligned with, is it's being EV ready.
That's it.
That's what
And
we're
so
thinking.
we putting the conduits and having the wall space for future electrical capacity.
Yeah.
The problem that we've run into in the past, and some communities haven't discerned, or there's no difference between EV ready and EV, and building. It's extremely costly to provide the new electrical for EV chargers that aren't being used, or so what we would do is, and what we're certainly open to and proponents of, is being ready.
Yeah.
And getting the conduits in the, under the, having the concrete platforms ready for a podium, and
If you need it. Yeah.
If you need
and
it.
then having the conversation with the utility where they give us a will serve letter saying, if you need additional capacity, we will provide it, and then designing some extra wall space into our electric room.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, with this being a new building, you have an increased chance of having someone who.
Well, we're 100% going to put EV chargers in, regulation or not. It's just
Whether or not
it was a
you
little
actually-
early, and sometime, in different jurisdictions, fire departments have differing views on how close they can be to the buildings.
Okay.
So, what a better spot in my mind to put EV chargers is around the community center, or right around the top corner of the lot near the building.
Yep.
As close to the building as possible, just to reduce the
run.
secondary run of
Yeah.
electrical, but we're open to your.
Right.
When you have when your electrical, when your when your electrical engineer designs the electrical system, I just did this. We're building a new senior center, and I'm heavily involved with this. So the energy code requires the 10%. Whoever the electrical engineer is gonna tell you what you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be basically built into the site layout.
Yeah.
And the code right now, under the energy code, not the electrical code, interesting enough, the energy code
Energy code is driving it these days.
talks about it being EV ready.
And also.
But the issue we really face is what you just said, is designing the capacity for the electrical system in the building to take EV to when they install it, even though you don't install it. You still have to upgrade your service
Yeah.
to handle it.
So
It's kind of a
so
pain.
one of the things that we did at a property of ours in Dover, not dissimilar from this, I think it was about 30 units. We set it up so that when the EV came online, we would put solar on the roof to actually accommodate that.
And to offset
So that might be something that we look at here,
Yep.
just because capacity or wall space may be at a premium, but that would be one way of dealing with that. You put a battery and the solar feeds the EV.
We also have a space allotted for a possible transformer
Wait,
right there, yeah. So we haven't talked with the electrical company yet, but that we will.
Good presentation.
Any further questions from the table? I'd like to open it up for public comment from anyone online. Pauline, Sarah, Kayla?
No hands.
No hands. Next step, sir.
So next steps would be to continue the hearing. I'd assume to the next meeting, so that you
be
guys
ready?
can
25th?
get comments and revisions in.
Or do you want more time?
Yeah,
Or do
so
you want-
the only, no, I don't think that we need more time. The only question I have is if we involve others, I want to make sure it's okay with the board that some of our team patches in via
Yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. Yep, of course.
Okay.
I think I'd have
No
to do
problem
that
with
because I'll be traveling that day.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I will be in the world.
Yeah.
It would probably not somewhere great, but
Yeah, no, it's you can definitely patch in through Zoom.
okay, great.
Yeah, so and then that way they have enough time to respond to comments and revise the plans and get those
Exactly.
submitted to me. And then at the next meeting we can go through those comments.
Beautiful. That's what I hope to do. Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Then I will make a motion to continue the open public hearing for 26 and 30 Littleton Road site plan review, stormwater management permits, use special permit, and inclusionary housing to our next planning board meeting on August 25th, 2026.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. So we'll continue the meeting until the 25th, and we'll see you then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
So, project status, we have no meeting minutes this time around.
No, I will have a bunch of meetings
I was
for
gonna
you for
say,
the next meeting.
oof.
We got the
Yeah, well, if you could get them more than a day or two ahead, if
yeah.
chance to.
I'll try to get those out as quickly as I can.
Appreciate that.
So, in terms of the project status updates, so with first one was Stratton Hill.
Yeah.
So they had been kind of held up due to some National Grid issues.
Really?
Yeah, there was some. They were trying to. They've been having trouble getting contact with National Grid. They're not the only ones. We've been hearing that all over the place. That
That's not good.
everyone's having trouble getting in contact with National Grid. So that was kind of one of the big holdups for them. They did reach out on Monday, saying that they were going to be providing us with a revised set of plans.
Really?
Yes, they're going to. There's going to be some revisions to the driveways.
Oh, to the driveways?
Yeah.
And when, September, they thinking, or?
So I don't know exactly when, but they are proposing some revisions. Now, whether or not they need to come back to the board, Mike and I will make that determination at that point
Right.
when we see what the revisions are. I don't know what they
Right, because you don't know
look
yet.
like yet. Yeah, so that's kind of been Stratton Hill. That's why they've been kind of not moving on
Okay.
that. The other, so Lincoln Hill, that project, they're currently, working on units right now. Those were electrical people, just looking at the house for a bid. They weren't actually doing any work. But Mike did talk to me about it. There was no work going on that day.
Okay.
Um,
About Lincoln Hill, have there been any further reports of vandalism or theft, or is that over?
not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now they're just kind of working on the units, but that's really it. That's all they've been
Do
doing.
you know how many units are started?
The first one just sold.
They sold already.
Yeah, they sold
Awesome.
one. I believe it's 4 units that they're working on, that they
Tremendous.
have building permits for.
Wow, great.
Yeah, so that's kind of that one right there. Not much else on Lincoln Hill.
42 Park.
42 Park, they look to be making a submission for Thursday.
This Thursday?
This Thursday, they'll be making a submission. I'll follow up with them tomorrow. just to confirm that. But that's what I was told, that they were going to be making a submission for Thursday to get on for the so it'll be for the first meeting in September.
Okay.
Pine Street, they're also dealing with some issues with National Grid and stuff like that. So
Really?
yeah, so but they're getting close to getting everything finalized.
Yeah, I bet.
They're looking to. I don't think they'll be looking for road acceptance yet, but I think probably springtime they might be looking for that road acceptance
Okay.
on that. There is another potential road acceptance that could be coming, Kohler Place, at the end of Right Way,
I mean, they just stopped.
Right Road.
Oh, wow.
At the
Okay.
end of Right Road, it's a very old subdivision, well before me.
Wow. What? Okay.
They had approached us last year about getting that road accepted and all that stuff, and they had said that they were going to start to get that done. It just never went anywhere. We received an email, I believe, last or 2 weeks ago, basically saying like they're ready to, bring this forward. Now they have to, have DPW go out there, go through the punch list, make sure everything's been addressed. Then they have to, submit their letter for road acceptance, and then the plans, and then get it over to the select board and us. And there's quite the process to do that, but they're shooting for the fall town meeting, so we'll see.
Okay.
Panther Place, he's moving along same pace as he always is. Chugging along. Nasoya, they did request an extension on their temporary occupancy permit. They're apparently further along than they expected, so that's kind of caused some issues internally for them. They moved along, like they thought this was going to be a couple years, but they're where they're at now much faster than they anticipated. So there's some they're looking to address some concerns internally, the temporary occupancy permits, and their deal with some of the businesses like Costco and stuff like that. So there's also the issue with DPW and the force main and the gallonage that they're using. So they're looking at, there might be some revisions being done with the DPW, but we'll see about that. That is Nasoya. Anything else?
You're right. That same part of town, the addition to the creative materials. Anything stop there?
12 Willow Road? Yes. Yep. So they have started. They're sending us SWIFT reports every week. They currently they are, I believe they've already cut down all of the trees. They have a retaining wall. That retaining wall that was just near the wetland area has been installed. There's still gravel and stuff like that, but they're currently working on that edge right
They're
there.
underway. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've been underway for a couple weeks now.
Senior center? Yeah.
So senior
Okay,
center.
senior center, where-
It is a site plan approval. right?
Yeah, so senior center, they have submitted their additional information for MIPA that was requested. That is currently under review now, and I believe
Friday?
sometime this week there's supposed to be their initial deadline of when they're going to be issuing certificate. Now, whether or not they request an extension, we'll see. But that's what they had told
Right.
the DPW and the site committee.
Great. Are we good?
Yeah.
Well, thank
Anything
you.
else?
So, I don't want to put anyone on the spot right now. What I wanted to do, just take the time, is to ask you to think about for the next meeting, just think about what would you like to learn that would help you with our board assignments? What would be useful to you? You know, we can get speakers on all kinds of topics, from housing to construction to development to engineering, anything that you're curious about that's related to land use in our work. Just give it some thought, and then next meeting, just if you have some ideas, just bring them, and then Danny and I will work on finding speakers and the time, etc.
And just so that everyone knows, there are, webinars that you can sign up for, like CPTC has a bunch of webinars that you can sign up for. And as part of that, if there's any cost to it, you can, the planning board will reimburse you through the town. So if you want to sign up for any of these, I typically send out, whenever I get like the curriculum that they send out of when these courses will go, I usually send it out to all the board members. I think I sent out the last one before you had joined, so what I can do is resend it out to you guys in case you guys, there's anything in there that you see interesting. And if you sign up, just let me know, and then I can have you just sign up, fill out a reimbursement form, and we can handle it that way.
And they're really good about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, coming up with some ideas of where you think having some education in the sense of for yourself as well as the town, because this will be recorded and it'll be on Zoom and people can watch it. What do you think is good information that people would want to hear about? And on top of that, there's also a housing forum in September that we're going to be having. The exact date, I believe, is
You mean
September.
Ayer is sponsoring it?
Yes,
We're
so
sponsoring a housing forum.
September 29th.
Oh, that's right. Janet was telling us.
There's
about it. That's
been-
right. Of course. Of
Yeah,
course. She came
she
talk
gave
to
the
us
last
about it.
one.
Yes, of
So
course.
as
I'm
a
sorry.
reminder to everyone,
Yeah, so
there's
we'll all
that
be
housing
there.
forum. So that's another thing that will be. I'll be there helping on, and just it'll be good information just for everyone.
Good. Anything else, folks? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second, whatever.
Everyone, thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Have a great night.